my dad's other son. When I, 19 meters, was 18, my father told our family he had another son. I assumed that it was like a kid no more than 5. It turns out he was 16 meters, almost the same age as my younger brother, who was 15 meters at this time. After this announcement, our families hasn't been the same. Which, to be fair, our family was never normal anyway. I had already held a lot of dislike to our father because the way he is. Anyway, when he told us, he swore he didn't know anything about the kid till recently. My mother went along with it even though it was obvious he was lying. So since then my dad has been in contact with this second son. We had a meet-up with family that had adopted him. He has 2 dads and 1 sister, and all of them were nice. My dad talked to both us and the kids' dads about wanting to bring him into the family and how this could be his home. I think he's on his self-righteous BS, but my mom really believes him. The problem is, it's clear the kid doesn't want that. Recently, we had him over for Christmas dinner and I could tell he was visibly uncomfortable around the family. He didn't talk much. He didn't touch his plate. And he would disappear in the guest room, where he was staying, for an hour at a time. It turns out the kid is vegan and also has peanut allergy. So I went to get him a meal from a vegan food place. And when I gave it to him, his face lit up with happiness. It was the happiest I had seen him around us. And he seemed to had relax around me. When spent the rest of night talking, and I learned a lot about him. He's a music prodigy, an AP honors student. He plays piano and violin, and overall is a really sweet kid. He showed me a picture of his mother that he keeps with him. After that, our relationship has been really good. But the problem is right now is that my dad is still pushing the join the family rhetoric. The kid is shy. So how exactly can I go about tell my dad to step off about the subject? Encourage your half-brother to talk to his dads. He shouldn't be forced into contact if he doesn't want to. Your father has no legal legs to stand on in terms of getting access to this kid. If the kid is uncomfortable, he can easily demand to not be contacted again unless he initiates the contact. If your dad's as stubborn as your post makes him sound, then you telling him to step off the subject will likely just make him more adamant about pulling this kid into your family. I think for now, you should stay out of your dad's relationship with him and just focus on your relationship with him. So he is vegan and has allergies. And they didn't make any food for him? Yes. Your dad is in awe. He had an affair and then the kid was given up for adoption. And now he thinks he can bring in the kid to the family. Lol. You could just talk to the kid. Maybe say that you can keep in touch and meet outside of your house. If he is not comfortable, his parents are not going to force him to go and your dad is going to get blocked. You sound like a great sibling for noticing and caring for your brother. That must mean a lot to him. I mean, it's not like he can do anything legal, he's not his father. Maybe help your brother advocate for himself and bring this issue to his actual dads. It's incredibly selfish for your dad to expect your brother to join the real-life version of the Jacobs family for his own self-interest when he already has his own wonderful family. The problem is, it's clear the kid doesn't want that. Then why is this happening? Your dad has no legal standing here. The kid's dads ought to be protecting him from this. Have you asked your brother directly what he thinks? You shouldn't say anything unless you know what he wants, because he could just have social anxiety. I've been in a similar situation. It's a different type of uncomfortable when you meet someone you're supposed to be the closest to. For the first time, I used to get really defensive whenever someone would bring my dad up just because it was too much to think about. Your brother barely knows any of you, so he probably just feels lonely. I couldn't imagine being in that situation. Honestly. It makes my skin crawl just thinking about it, regardless of how he feels about the situation. This isn't something a kid should deal with. So it's understandable he'd be a little closed off. It's a little hard to explain. But knowing the people you're with are your family, but feeling like they're complete strangers is a really surreal experience. I don't recommend it, LMAO. The only thing you can do is try to make him feel as comfortable as possible until you sort out your living situations. I can guarantee it's not personal. I think it happens for everyone in this situation. Too many questions. Is he a full sibling? Did your dad cheat? Or is a secret sperm donor? It's weird, but not out of the realm. What's up with bros' dads? Are they going broke and can't afford him anymore? Or is your dad going to put him in a fancy private school for his educational purposes? And living with him is a condition? Is your mom kind of a gold digger just staying for your dad's money and stability? Because that would explain a lot. Try asking your dad non-combative questions, especially in non-combative tones. Just wonder why. But if he's too vague, don't purse it too much or he'll shut down. If I were you, I'd just focus on being nice to new bro, since he seems like he's got a lot going on, and probably not going to unload everything on a stranger. And if maybe you can bond over vegan foods, cooking it or having it delivered, whichever, because I'm worried about the food bit the most. Am I reading this right? Your father thinks he can just take the kid and bring him into the family? Does your brother's parents know about this? Honestly, that is so bizarre, and so is having him over for Christmas dinner. Talk to your dad. Tell him that he needs to let your new stepbrother decide on being a full-fledged member of your family. I bet the adopted parents want a seat at that decision table as well. While your dad seems to have his heart in the right place, he can't force this connection. If he acts too soon, things can fall apart. Make sure dad knows that you understand what he's trying to do. He just needs to let his other son decide these things. Tell your dad to back off because he isn't owed jack. The kid is overwhelmed and everything will have to happen at your brother's pace. Tell your brother that he doesn't have to do anything he doesn't want to do, and you'll back him up on whatever that is. He has a family. Your dad isn't his family. Right now he's an entitled sperm donor, and he'll never be more than that if he keeps it up.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Haircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.